Friends and family shared some of their favorite recipes to help me build the 2020 Holiday Virtual Cookbook. These recipes were shared with love and joy, and I now pass that love and joy on to you. Happy holidays and eat up! Butternut squash apple curry soup, submitted by my friend Kirsten Robinson. Kirsten is from Dortmund, Germany. She did mention that in Germany she would have used Hokkaido pumpkin, but those aren't available in the US. Pause the video here to capture this recipe. Next up is Elma's famous 3-cheese mac and cheese. My mom made this mac and cheese dish every Thanksgiving. The most important part, besides it being for my mom, is the half-cup panko's breadcrumbs that you sprinkle on top. Yummy.
Hi, welcome to Cooking with Ness. Some of you may know me from past Thanksgivings where I would always prepare my world-famous macaroni. Well, today I am upping my game and now I am prepared to make deluxe macaroni. Not only will I show you my recipe, I will be sharing it with the next generation, my 3 kids, wild turkeys. First, fill a pot with water. Great work, Benji. Say hi.
Hi. Which way do I pull it?
Next, turn on the stove and boil water. Make sure your 6-year-old is supervised. When the water is boiling, you open the box and take out the cheese and put it aside. And then you pour the macaroni in the boiling water.
I poured it a little.
Good job, Mila. Thumbs up. Next, you drain the noodles and get a facial with the steam. And next we're gonna mix the cheese. And if you have a picky kid who doesn't want cheese on their noodles, you scoop some out beforehand. Good job, Abraham. Now this is the secret recipe part, adding the cheese. Go, Abraham.
That's so weird.
Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful cheese. And you mix the cheese. And that's a wrap. This is our final product. It's not just mac and cheese, it's deluxe mac and cheese. Hope you enjoyed our not so secret recipe. Have a happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours. Love you. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving! Get some macaroni from Papa John.
Roasted root vegetable with the miso glaze, submitted by Cynthia Lee. Cynthia is born and bred in Brooklyn, New York, and is the proud mom of 2 young boys. And when she finds time in between play dates and homework, this is one of her favorite recipes. Honey mustard glazed ham, submitted by Dianez Brisita. Dianez is one of my really good friends. I worked with her at the Omni Berkshire place. When the hotel closed, though, Dianez stepped up and she opened her own business. She's one of the most courageous and brave persons I know. This is the top secret Sheffield family cranberry and apple crisp, submitted by Jennifer Hunt. Jennifer is my very dear friend who I met at W. Austin and now lives in Kansas City, Kansas. This mini pumpkin pie recipe was submitted by my Thea B. Thea B makes the best sweets, so it must be good. She also made these last year with my little cousin Maya, and they plan to make them again this year. This pecan pie recipe started with Nona Davis, who then gave it to Aunt Betty, who then gave it to my Thea Frankie. My Thea Frankie is born and raised in Tift County, Georgia, where Southern hospitality is at its core. So this pumpkin pie is probably the most delicious thing you've ever tasted. A rookie recipe for mashed sweet potatoes, submitted by Lisa Martinek. Her maiden name is Lisa Wichtenstein. She is literally my oldest friend. She was raised by her grandmother, Nana. This is her recipe, Nana's recipe. So I feel so blessed to have this and to share this with you. And my friend Melissa is sharing her mom's cranberry salad recipe. Melissa says that this recipe is a must over Thanksgiving and Christmas. If you ever met Melissa, you'll know that she's probably the best baker and cook and just person that you'll ever know. So to have this recipe as part of her Christmas tradition and for her to share that, it was just really special. Hello, for my contribution to the virtual cookbook, I am going to make a pumpkin pie. And I know for most of you bakers and chefs, a pumpkin pie seems really remedial. But the last time I tried to make one, which was 10 years ago, Melissa and Dan invited me over for Thanksgiving, and I instead used this sort of thing, cinnamon and sugar mix, instead of like cinnamon and sugar, and so it tasted like crap. So I'm going to try it again, and we're going to make a pumpkin pie for our virtual Thanksgiving. So for our ingredients, we're going to need a pumpkin pie mix. I mean, if you're a pro, I think you could actually take the pumpkin and make, mix, but we're gonna do that. Sugar, salt, cloves, evaporated milk. What is this? Ginger, cinnamon, see, cinnamon and sugar separate. Eggs, you need a 9-inch pie shell, and probably most important is to take your Cool Whip out of the freezer and put it in the fridge because you'll need it for the topping. Oven should be preheated to 450 degrees. Let's get started. So pretty simple. You put everything of the ingredients that's off the jar into a bowl and stir it. Obviously, if you are more fancy, you might have a mixer. I just use a spoon. Stir, stir, stir till everything is properly mixed. Then you pour your mixture into your pie shell. I actually had more mixture, but it looks pretty full, and based on my track record with pies, I decided not to use all of that filling. Put it in the oven for 15 minutes, then you reduce the heat to 350. Okay, fingers crossed. So my dear friend Jennifer told me to put aluminum foil around the crust in the last 20 minutes of baking, so I tried to do that. All right, so my pie is all done. I've actually cut a little piece here, so the moment of truth, obviously I put Cool Whip on it. Let's see how it tastes. It tastes much better with sugar. It's pretty good. Happy holidays. Bye. And to elevate a pumpkin dessert, go with this almost famous pumpkin cheesecake recipe submitted by my beautiful and brilliant friend Amanda Pomeroy. She is a California native, and this recipe looks a lot better than my pumpkin pie. Heather, my bestie from Ottawa, Canada, sent this amazing pumpkin brown butter apple cider loaf recipe. She sent step-by-step directions and pictures to help you bake this magnificent dessert. And because one can't live on dessert alone, Heather also sent a cocktail recipe for apple bourbon sour. And thanks to Lucy, my sister-in-law, who makes this pumpkin gingerbread trifle every Thanksgiving that I spend with them in DC. This dessert is so good. I have around 8 rounds of this dessert because it's delicious. Lucy also sent this picture of a Thanksgiving past of my mom and brother trying to make mac and cheese in their DC kitchen. I love this memory.